Welcome to the Random Green Channel. Today I wanted to go over the 2024 University of Arizona gridiron football program and their predictions. So, new coach Brent Brennan takes over for the program after Jed Fish went to the University of Washington because Kalen DeBoer went to Alabama to take over for Nick Saban, which pretty much retired. So now I didn't really have a chance to go over, well, as I'm making this video right now, I just did go over the returning starters for the University of Arizona, but I think they're going to be good. It's just a hunch, and when it's a prediction, and realize it's just a prediction. Also, I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to do this. And usually the ones that get paid millions of dollars are lots of money to tell you what their prediction is and end up being wrong anyway. Not that I'm saying I'll be right, but of course I'll be right. No, I'm just kidding. So I'll just go over the schedule, tell you my thoughts, and yeah. So they open up with New Mexico. New Mexico is not really, the first two games, seems like on paper, not to be the best opponents, but you just never can count out a college football program. Like I say, New Mexico maybe struggled the last few seasons, and Arizona is getting better. They're rebounding and getting better every year. And yeah, so they should open up with, or they will open up with New Mexico, obviously, and they'll win against New Mexico quite soundly. I say they put up 40, 45. I'll say 44-6 or 44-7 over New Mexico. Then they play Northern Arizona at home against Lumberjacks, a 1AA program, FCS program. I think they'll win pretty handily. Again, they'll probably put up half a century on them. Half a century. Sorry. Half 100 on them. And they should win pretty soundly against Northern Arizona. So then they play the Big 12. This is their second year in the Big 12? No, this is their first year in the Big 12. Yeah, this is their first year in the Big 12. And they open up at, now I think it's the first year. Yeah. Sorry. Hard to keep track of. But yeah, they play at Kansas State. A well-coached Kansas State team. They're always tough. But I think Arizona will find a way to win a really tight game, a one-pointer. It'll be a mistake by Kansas State where they'll be able to, and that's how it is. In college football, it's always so competitive a lot of times. Not always. But when you get these good programs, Kansas State's another Wildcat team in the Battle of the Wildcats. So I think Arizona will win in 24-23 in a game they probably shouldn't win, but they win. Then they have a bye. Then they play at Utah, a former Pac-12 program, just like Arizona. They will, it's tough. I'm not going to sit there and say that. Honestly, I would have to say that Utah wins this game. I'm not going to sit there and say Arizona goes undefeated. I mean, let's be realistic. So they go 3-1, a tough Utah team, and they falter at Utah. Utah's good. They're loaded. I think they have a lot. If they stay healthy, they'll be one of the better teams in the country. Then they come home to Texas Tech after getting beat against Utah. They'll beat Texas Tech at home to go 4-1. At BYU, 5-1. I think this is BYU's second season in the Big 12, second or third season. I'm pretty sure they started. Anyway, 5-1 for Arizona at this point. Then they play Colorado. Colorado will be a much improved team. A lot of people think that they're not going to be, but I just find it's just a prediction. I think they're going to be pretty decent, but they beat Colorado to go 6-1. Then they play West Virginia at home. West Virginia is a hot and cold team. Seems like West Virginia plays the good teams tough, and it'll be no different. But they find a way to win a touchdown to be close, a really close game against West Virginia. They go 7-1. Then at UCF, UCF is tough at home, but they go pretty far from Arizona to Florida, and you think about it. I mean, it's not always easy to play on the road, but they find a way to win because that's a prediction. Then they have a bye. Then they play Houston. I think it's their second year. Okay, second year in the Big 12. But again, I believe it's Arizona's first season. It better be. Yes. Anyway, they beat Houston. 9-1 at this point, 9-1 at TCU. Gosh, to go 10-1 at TCU. I say that's a loss against TCU, a really close game, maybe a shootout, but they fall at TCU at 9-2. Then they play home against Arizona State, a rivalry game. You just never know. But they win this game against Arizona State to go 10-2. 10-2, and I don't think it's good enough to go to the Big 12 title game because I think in my predictions I have Utah and Oklahoma State in the Big 12 title game. If I remember correctly, it hasn't been that long ago. Yes, but hey, if you can go 10-2. Maybe I'm giving a little bit of leeway to Arizona because I kind of like Arizona. I like the Pac-12 teams. Former Pac-12 teams. There really should be a Pac-12, and it's just a shame that these conferences want to get rid of tradition and they want to focus on. Well, can you blame them though? It's the big money, and maybe it will help in the long run. But it would be nice to still see a Pac-12 team or Pac-12 have a conference. They don't have a conference in any sport now. I don't think. I think it's just dissolved. It's sad, but I did like the former Pac-12 teams, pretty much all of them. Well, not a big. I don't mind any of them really. Anyway. Yeah, those are just my predictions. Again, this is just a prediction, so 10-2. Who knows if it happens? We'll see. I'm getting ready for it, that's for sure. I'm getting ready for the season. All right. Thank you for watching.